Prince William is in a bit of a dilemma, a very difficult dilemma in fact, and this is nothing to do with him at all. But it's the world that he now lives in, and of course as the future king, in the fullness of time, is something that he's going to have to deal with. And this time around, in fact, it's not all really, for once at least, his younger brother that's causing a lot of commotion behind the scenes. But what does he do next? As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome, one and all brand new subscribers. When you think about it with the royals, it is a casted soap opera, isn't it? I mean, when I look back to, what I remember starting out and doing all of this job with the royals, people were a lot more deferential. People sort of stood back and they were a little bit easier going about things. Times have absolutely radically changed, and some might say not for the good. Now, as you know, currently right now, all the negative reasons are happening around the former royal known as Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. And this is reverberating, literally, if you think about it, for Prince William, the Prince of Wales, and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. It's not easy, you see, because everything that a family member does kick back on you. Now, here's where the problem is now really difficult for, in the future, shall we say, Prince William, because as we know, His Majesty the King, King Charles, recently reached out to Beatrice and Eugenie. And this really is all to do with the fact that the slimmed down monarchy effect, the thing that everybody said was a good idea, apart from Princess Anne. But people now realise that, in fact, as the people get a little bit older, like His Majesty the King, 70 odd, and so is the Queen, 70 odd, it's difficult. We're expecting them to go at a pace, not realising or in fact giving them a bit of slack for their age, and the fact that the King is also battling a form of cancer. Now, Prince William and Catherine have stepped up in many ways, but William's got a lot of things going on behind the scenes privately, like his homeless project that is taking up more time than people realise, plus the Earthshot stuff. Now, the bigger issue is this. You see, there's a bit of a frisson between, of course, the situation with Beatrice and Eugenie. You see, not only are they being sort of dragged into all the negative PR that is now engulfing their father, Prince Andrew, and there's no escape from it. This will go on, well, probably now for the rest of their lives. And it's all very well Fergie wearing those shoes saying, never complain, never explain, etc. It doesn't matter. Some of the stories are out there. And everybody knows exactly what Sarah's been like and done. And as I said, I know her well. And we've discussed this at length. You can't go away from something as big as the tabloid sting of trying to sell access to your husband at that time, right? Where this gets really tricky now is the relationship between William, Eugenie and Beatrice. According to a very well-placed source, while William is accepting of the idea that they may return to the fold and represent the monarchy, he's not overly keen, simply because each time this comes back into the public domain regarding their father, then of course they're attached too. And whatever cause they're representing, and there are many they could assist with, it goes back to, meanwhile, there is, of course, Prince Andrew. Now, his idea, as I told you previously, was to totally remove him out of public life, out of the royal website, and hope that that would be enough. But it's not, is it? And this is the battle that's going on between His Majesty the King and, of course, William. Naturally, Meghan Markle and Harry will be thrilled with this diversion, simply because they believe that these are going to be the problems that will see them being invited back, get this, into the monarchy, because the slimmed down monarchy possibly cannot survive. Waiting, of course, while Prince George becomes of age and, subsequently Princess Charlotte. Of course, William's having none of that. But behind the scenes, whether you thought things were going swimmingly between the other side of the family, Beatrice, Eugenie, Prince William, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and not forgetting, of course, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. More importantly, William, continually, I've been told, is not totally sure just how trustworthy Eugenie still remains. Remember, she was a good stalwart of Prince Harry, but then fell foul of him too. It's all a developing story, and as ever, I'm across it. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.